If you're loving this podcast, be sure to check out our full lineup. From news and local politics to sports and true crime, find your next great listen right now at duluthnewstribune.com/podcasts. That's duluthnewstribune.com/podcasts.
Hello, Northlanders. It's Tuesday, March 21st. I'm Wyatt Buckner with the Duluth News Tribune Minute, presented by Minnesota Power Employees Credit Union.
The average MPECU member saves over $785 a year in better rates and lower fees. And with MPECU, every ATM is your ATM. With their free checking program, you get ATM fee reimbursements at any ATM anywhere in the U.S. Check out Minnesota Power Employees Credit Union services online at mpecu.com or visit their offices in downtown Duluth, Arrowhead Road, or Miller Trunk Highway.
Now here's a look at today's headlines. Less than a week after a section of its roof caved in, sending debris and ton after ton of accumulated snow into a hallway below, the Miller Hill Mall is starting to get back to business. A 7-phase reopening plan began Sunday, when 10 tenants along the mall's northern edge got the go-ahead to return to their premises, according to an email obtained by the News Tribune that was sent by administrators at Simon Property Group, which owns the mall, to store managers. That segment includes Men's Warehouse and Chipotle Mexican Grill. Next in line is a 19-tenant west section that includes Maurice's and the St. Louis County Auditor Service Center, set to hear about reopening between Tuesday and Thursday. The only stores without a tentative re-entry date are the 7 closest to the site of the cave-in, such as GNC and Express. Each tenant there will be contacted by mall management to discuss a reopening schedule. Getting the okay to return might not mean a given business opens immediately, and the mall's reopening schedule is subject to change due to more inclement weather or unforeseen circumstances. A statement from the Miller Hill Mall encouraged shoppers to, quote, visit retailer websites and social media accounts for information on the reopening status, end quote. Essentia Health, which hosts several services at the mall, reopened its Center for Personal Fitness on Saturday. The Minnesota House on Monday approved the Reproductive Freedom Defense Act, a bill that would protect people who get abortions in the state from legal action from other states where the procedure is illegal. Following the end of federal abortion protections last summer when the U.S. Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade, many Republican-controlled states moved to place new restrictions on abortion. Some states, including Iowa, are considering legislation inspired by the Texas 6-week abortion ban that allows private individuals to sue people who seek abortions. At a news conference ahead of the House vote, Democratic farmer labor lawmakers backing the bill said the state needs to act before challenges to abortions in Minnesota from other states become a reality. If the bill becomes law, it would prohibit Minnesota courts from enforcing or satisfying a civil judgment from another state against someone who gets an abortion or anyone involved in an abortion. It would also protect against criminal prosecution. Members of the House voted 68-62 on Monday afternoon to approve the bill after about an hour of debate. Republicans raised concerns that the law would harm the rule of law because it would get in the way of other states taking action on their abortion restrictions. 3 more city council candidates are expected to enter the fray shortly. Ashley Castaldo plans to formally launch her campaign Friday. 3rd District Councilor Roz Randolph revealed plans to seek a second term Monday. And 5th District Councilor and Council President Janet Kennedy told the News Tribune she expects to announce her re-election bid later this week. Kennedy, who represents Duluth's westernmost neighborhoods, will face a challenge from candidate Ginka Tarnowski, who entered the race Saturday. Casting her hat into the at-large race, Castaldo said she aims to become the first Hispanic person and the first person with autism to be elected to the council. This campaign marks Castaldo's second run for office, having made an unsuccessful bid in 2021. There will be 2 at-large seats up for grabs this November, as incumbent councilors Eric Forsman and Noah Hobbs have both decided to step down at the end of their terms. Now here's a look at your forecast, brought to the News Tribune's Northlandia podcast.
This weather forecast for the greater Duluth area, cloudy today with snow developing this afternoon and a high temperature in the upper 20s to around 30 degrees. East winds around 15 to 25 miles an hour. Snow becoming likely tonight, and it may end up being fairly heavy at times with some, at least for a few hours, some fairly heavy snow rates. Winds out of the east at 15 to 25. We may see accumulations of 3 or 4 with local amounts up to 8 inches or more possible by the time it wraps up Wednesday morning. Wednesday's high temperature getting up into the mid to upper 30s. I'm Storm Tracker meteorologist John Wheeler.
Thank you to the Northlandia podcast for their support. The weekly podcast explores curious and unique stories here in the Northland. Whether it's a look inside the Northern Rail train car inn, or an introduction to Duluth's musical roboticist, Robot Rickshaw, each episode celebrates the region's distinctive people, places, and history. You can find the latest episode of Northlandia at duluthnewstribune.news or wherever you also get this podcast. Reporting for today's episode was done by Joe Bowen, Alex DeRozier, and Peter Passy. Thank you for listening to Duluth News Tribune Minute. Have a great day, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.